Everything that you've been taught about confidence is wrong. Posture, eye contact, speaking slowly. Those things do matter, but they're actually downstream of something much deeper. If you work only on those, you'll feel like you're always performing. Here is what confidence actually is and how to build it for real. Every single interaction happens on 2 layers of communication simultaneously. The first one is sub-communication. This comes from your eye contact, your posture, your vocal tone. This is learnable and practicable, and it matters. The second is micro behaviors, and these are signals that fire faster than thought. For example, the microscopic tension around your eyes when someone challenges you, or the barely perceptible shift in your weight when you feel unsure. You've been reading these in other people your entire life. It's the reason why something seems off despite someone saying all the right things. Now, you cannot consciously control micro behaviors, and trying to monitor them in real time is self-defeating, and that's because the self-monitoring is the signal. Your face will broadcast that you're in your head before your mouth even opens. The only way that micro behaviors align correctly is when they actually flow directly from your internal state, and that's what congruence means. It's your internal state made visible. Now, the first point I want to make here is that your expectations generate the room. What do I mean by this? I mean that your internal assumptions about a situation actively shape its outcome. For example, say you enter a room expecting to be received well. Your subcommunication, your micro behaviors, your timing will all reflect that. People will orient towards you accordingly. However, if you enter with doubt underneath the surface, you'll rush, hesitate, head, over-explain. People will pull back, not because of what you said, but because of what your nervous system was sub-communicating before you even said anything. Same situation, opposite assumption, opposite result. It's not about what you're saying, it's the place it's coming from. Your expectation arrives first. The environment responds second. You're not reacting to the room, you are generating it. Now, something really important that I want to mention here is that openness is your most powerful signal. When someone moves through the world genuinely undefended and self-accepting, every nervous system in the room will draw one automatic conclusion. This person has been accepted everywhere they've gone. This absence of defensiveness reads evolutionarily to the subconscious of other people as proof of very high social value. This is why authenticity isn't just psychologically healthy. Not only does it help your self-esteem, it's the most sophisticated signal a human being can transmit, and it cannot be faked at the micro behavior level. Someone performing openness and somebody who actually has it produce completely different effects. The signal lives below the level you can consciously control. Confidence isn't something you perform, it's actually just a byproduct of being emotionally unarmored. What mechanism destroys your confidence, destroys your openness? Simple, the flinch. The flinch means any form of retreat or self-doubting mid-interaction, especially doubt before anyone has even pushed you. Your unconscious actually does this by design. If your subconscious predicts that rejection is inevitable, you can then unconsciously say, I didn't fully commit, so it doesn't count. It protects your self-image by ensuring you never find out what you're fully capable of. Alongside flinching is also something called integrity noise, and this is the internal friction that's generated when your actions conflict with your actual values. If you're projecting something you don't believe about yourself, say you're pretending to be confident when you don't feel confident, your mind is then running 2 conflicting processes at once. Your micro behaviors will betray the misalignment, even if your words don't. What's the fix? Get aligned. Close the gap between what you're presenting and who you actually are. Be more honest about what you think, what you believe, and what you want. When the noise disappears, everything you do becomes clean and direct. Another thing I want to mention is the indifference threshold, and that's that real confidence is built on reference experiences, repeated evidence that you can handle a situation. The paradox is that getting those reference experiences requires a general baseline of confidence or self-esteem to begin with. You can't actually break that cycle by manufacturing belief you don't have, but you can break it by aiming at something different. You don't actually need evidence that you'll succeed, you just need evidence that the outcome doesn't define you. Go out, try, struggle, survive, repeat, and eventually your brain will just recategorize the situation. It says, I'm still here, this is normal. That's the indifference threshold. Once you genuinely stop needing a specific outcome, the flinching stops, presence returns, and results improve. And that's because neediness is a repellent signal, and its absence is absolutely magnetic. The target is not confidence. The target is indifference to outcome. Confidence follows automatically. Now, there's one final variable that explains why even capable people have inconsistent results. Stifling. Stifling is the unconscious compression of your energy in unfamiliar environments. Evolutionarily, entering a new social group where the rules and hierarchy was unknown was genuinely dangerous. The rational default was to compress, take up less space, express less until you understood the new environment. That mechanism is still running. Every new room, your brain runs the ancient calculation. compress until you know the rules. Your voice loses its richness, your presence contracts, and you usually can't feel it happening. The fix is to unstifle early and deliberately. Expand your range in the first few minutes of the new environment before you feel comfortable. Show your nervous system through action that full expression is safe here. The cap lifts, your full range returns. So confidence is not something you perform. It's what remains when you've cleared everything that was suppressing it. We are all born with charisma and confidence. Like a diamond covered in mud, it's there. You need to scrape that mud off the surface first to reveal the diamond underneath. So your work is not about adding something new. It's about removing what is in the way. Close the gap between who you're presenting and who you actually are. That's where it begins.